Jamaica, 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 Jamaica. Good morning again. Now, we all know that the cannabis space is heating up. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to know how to get in, how to get a license. Should they be a 51% owner as Jamaican? What's happening abroad? What's happening? Lots of conferences. Yes. So, to give us more insight is Delano Severite, Director of Cannabis Licensing Authority. Good morning to you. How are you?
Sir. Morning, Empress. Morning, Evs.
Good to see you.
All is well?
All is well.
Good.
I want you to get straight into it. You've been doing a lot of things here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's hot, 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 hot.
Yeah.
Where are we with cannabis industry
Yeah.
and what's happening with Europe and their involvement?
But I think people should know that, in 2015, they had a decriminalization and the establishment of a medical cannabis regime, a medicinal cannabis regime, which supported scientific, therapeutic, medicinal cannabis. That was Senator Mark Gordon at the time when he was Justice Minister, piloted that legislation in Parliament, which was amendment to the Dangerous Drugs Act. Shifting gears, by 2016, they had a new government. When we got into office, we saw the Cannabis Licensing Authority. It was decided, listen, we need to get this place moving and get some licenses issued. So we put the regulations in order, and then we started issuing the first set of licenses, I believe, in 2017.
What are those
and
licenses
today,
in 2017? What
Cultivator,
kind of
Research and Development. So now you'll see Kaya, Epicon, and all those guys. Those were among the first set of licenses to be issued. Okay. And now we have over 35 licensees. We have over 600 applications. We have about 200 that are at due diligence and application review stage, or basically almost conditionally approved, but waiting for other things to come through for them to come through.
Is there a number that you want to get to? You
no number at this point in time in terms of, because we haven't reached saturation at all.
Right.
It's Jamaica.
Right.
We haven't reached saturation at all. But in any event, we have made progress. I know people are concerned about the slowness of the thing and everything, but honestly, from 2015 to now, 2019, to have over 35 licenses issued and over 600 applications in is really a testament to some hard work.
I was in country on the weekend, and I heard some young people say, while having a conversation in the little country town about what they can do, right, to develop the community. I mentioned cannabis. And they just looked at me and said, but it's so expensive to get a license. So a lot of people are lost and confused. I think it would be a good opportunity to ask or share with Jamaicans, how can they earn, how can they contribute to the industry?
Empress Neville is a very important point, because there's a feeling that the rich man, quote unquote, which is standard. I mean, in any business you go in the world, the man who has more money, more connections, more capital, more everything, will get a jump start of sorts in the business. So what we've done, we've started this alternative development program. I know Minister Audley Shaw and Minister Floyd Green, along with the Cannabis Licensing Authority, signed off on the first arrangement in St. Elizabeth, in the maroon areas in and around St. Elizabeth, to really basically have a very special program marked out specifically for the small traditional farmers to protect them. It's not perfect, because we're working in a global regime where it is still, marijuana is still illegal for by United Nations standards and so on. But we're trying to work out a space to ensure that they are protected some way, shape, or form. And the first project is actually now going on up in St. Elizabeth.
Okay.
You just came back from Europe.
Yes.
What happened? Why were you there?
Let me tell you, it's amazing. They had these huge cannabis conferences now in Europe, because finally, the United Kingdom in particular, England, is finally moving in a particular direction. Last year, they moved to a medical regime of sorts, and they're slowly moving clearly to some more liberalization. The same is true in Ireland, France, Spain, of course, has already gone, Portugal has already gone, Germany is where we're seeing some big developments, certainly on the medicinal side. And these people, because of their weather conditions and so on, will need to eventually probably import as much of their cannabis as possible. And Jamaica know that would be
I was going to ask that, because if everybody seems to be doing their own thing, the talk long ago was, why we not export this thing and make plenty of money? But if everybody doing them one thing, where are we going to export it to, please?
No, you're right.
But didn't you say they're going to need
our... They need to import. They need to import. But the good thing is that for the United States, for example, it's a complicated situation. They have over 25 states that either have legalized or have a medicinal regime, but the federal government still has it as illegal. Canada is completely legalized, which we would love to do, but Canada is a bigger, richer country, so clearly they can do things that we can't do. And the same is true for other countries in Europe, and Uruguay, as you know, has legalized. The issue here is that this industry has to keep growing and has to keep growing fast, because there's so much room out there for growth and development.
When we look at Jamaica then, so what are you suggesting? Because I'm just about the economic development of this
I'll
right
tell
now.
Jamaicans,
Where are we
Yes,
going?
where we're going is to develop a really vibrant medicinal marijuana regime. We have also sought to ensure that as much of our industry as possible is Jamaican owned. So it has to be 51% Jamaican ownership for the companies. And there are some people who want to change that.
No,
and
no
I've
way.
been pressuring the government to change
No
that.
way.
For all sorts of reasons. They say, boy, I can't put my capital in a country and I don't feel I have full control of
No.
my capital. In any event, it's to give Jamaicans a leg up, and we need people to research the industry, understand what they're doing, and understand it's a real business. It's not some loose business.
When you say
which is key.
medicinal,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
saying there are different strains that you can grow,
Yeah.
right? And then how is it exported? What's the
Well, there are no
processing in
exports.
Jamaica?
Well,
Not yet,
we're
but-
finally signing off on the export regulations this year.
Okay.
And I believe there may be export opportunities, of course, to the Cayman Islands, the Canada, and
Okay.
a few other countries, not the United States, because the federal law there is very clear.
Okay.
as
What about
relates to
processing,
infringement.
Danilo?
And there are a few people now who are already starting to get in the processing phase. There's a lot of people in cultivation. There are some people going to retail. You see Epicon, you see Kaya, you see all these new marijuana shops, cannabis shops
You soon
popping
see the
up around the
Never
island.
Bell
The
cannabis.
Never Bell
I wish.
Cannabis Cafe.
I actually wish, yeah.
No, you'll be
We can,
great.
we can partner, you
I
know.
actually
Give me
wish.
51%.
I wouldn't. Afraid of that. What about the farmers?
Yes.
Where are we with the farmers?
So a lot of the farmers, a number of, what is amazing is that a number of Jamaican farmers I see have striked up some very good partnerships with people overseas, especially Canadian investors. And there are some of them who are doing very well for themselves, but they don't walk around and talk about
Right,
it.
right.
Okay, you know, Jamaica.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of farmers, especially traditional farmers, who are still struggling, who are still in that sort of quote-unquote illegal space and need to get out. And that's why we're doing that.
I think you said, and correct me if I know you correct me, that we don't export yet, or just
No.
certain.
There was a test export that was done some time ago just to see if it's possible.
Yeah.
And it worked. But it was a vial of cannabis oil, I believe, to Canada.
Yeah.
It worked. So when the export regulations are done,
This
we
year.
expect to really
And
ramp
what
things
needs
up
to
this year.
happen
and to
for
go.
the export regulations to be just put through?
Well, there's a lot of work in it because the country that is importing has to certify, because we deal with cannabis.
Right.
So the country that's importing has to certify that, listen, we are officially authorizing the importation of X.
Right.
And we too have to certify what is being exported, because we don't want the commingling of the illegal and
Yeah,
the legal.
because it's
We
still
don't want
mean
to
a
play
man
land
can
and a
just-
man, but that is
Yeah.
legal by the use of the license. It needs to be structured.
And it will go through an
I
authority.
will go through a very
Yeah, so a man
specific
can't just put a
authority.
bag of weed in my pocket and say,
Can
well,
you
I'm going to
imagine
sell it
that?
to Canada or something
So
like
yeah,
that.
export.
Yeah.
So I'm interesting to look at what we're going to do with byproducts, you know, like
Right.
things that we'll create, because we're
Value
looking
added.
at all of the value-added products, lotions and creams and all kind of things. So it's a big
Empress,
opportunity.
I'm happy accent. I think you'll be interested. The spa side of cannabis is really starting to grow.
Yes.
In Negril, we're seeing some elements of it coming together. It's just that people need to better organize themselves. But cannabis has so many applications.
Yeah.
And it really is sad, you know, because Rastafari championed cannabis, ganja, all these years. And now finally, because it's commercially viable, we see it moving in a particular
But Rasta
direction.
still a hold on to them ganja.
Yes.
I think of another well, I don't know if we're final yet at the time, but this question is important. How much does it cost for us to get a license
It varies.
to grow?
It varies. I mean, we're talking
Like what?
$2,000 sometimes, $1,000 sometimes, upwards.
Okay.
The problem is that in order to because we're in a global village and we have to do everything right, you have to have cameras on site, you have to have fencing, and that is where the cost comes in, the infrastructure cost. And that's why we're doing an alternative development program to see if we can get around some of those things by helping the smaller man them to come up and really be a part of the trade.
What about recreational? And you've already said that some of these places are popping up. So obviously we can't just walk in and say, give me an ounce of weed.
Correct.
What about recreational? Are we going there at all?
Still
or are
a
we gonna-
problem from the UN convention standpoint.
Right.
But what we signed off on is what the UN allows, which is medicinal, therapeutic, and scientific.
Right.
Therapeutic, I think, is a
Yeah.
very
Yes, they're broad.
it's a good word.
It's a good word.
It can be thrown a couple places.
No, but
so you still
yeah.
can't just go
But
into any one of these
because
places
there
and
has
say,
to be set standards, and,
Right.
and we were audited by international organization associated with the UN, the INCB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful about what we do.
Can any cannabis companies be listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange?
I believe some have
Some
been
have listed
exploring
already here?
over time. They've been
Okay.
exploring there. It's the big problem in the cannabis space is really the banking issue, which is a problem that is international, not necessarily just us alone.
But Canada, I think, does better,
Canada
right?
finally,
Yeah.
their federal banks are beginning to come around,
Right.
but a number of them still won't open cannabis accounts. The US, of course, is a complete block at the federal level.
Yeah.
But things are changing, and there are a number of companies now, even here in Jamaica, that have banking arrangements.
Good to
in
see you,
place.
sir.
Interesting.
Good to see you. Good work.
All
Good.
right,
Good to see you.
so the Neville Bell and Empress
So Neville
Cannabis
going
Store
start
will
up in
be
cannabis
open
store.
for therapeutic, medicinal purposes next week. Very good information. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
So we got to team up as Jamaicans, organize, research, get in early, because that's the trick, you know. You get in early, you reap the benefits later. Reap
network.
the benefits. So,
All right,
yeah.
Director of the Cannabis Licensing Authority and Senate Senior Advisor Strategist in the Ministry of Tourism, Mr. Delano Seabright.